Today, I want to play with something new for my memory keeping and journaling. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and these are some fun new goodies that I picked up at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo at Dulles Center when it came through. These are from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and the whole idea is a combination of memory keeping and journaling. I even got some metal dies, which I haven't used in forever. There's some different pocket pages. It's just kind of a new style of memory keeping. Do I have time to jump into a brand new style and hobby right now? No. Is that going to stop me? Probably not. So today we're going to play around with getting this set up, maybe make a page, maybe put some things in and just see how it works. I thought you all might like to come along with me. We're going to call this a play date, a memory keeping play date. So I will link Elizabeth Craft Designs down below, not affiliated at all, but just was a fan of seeing this at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. So I'm going to bring you guys along. Let's do it. Okay, so this is supposed to be a combination planner and memory keeper and journal, which of course is right up my alley because I love planners and memory keepers and journals. And the thought of it all being together seems really fun to me. So we're going to start out. I have a bunch of pocket pages, and before I pack my whole craft room to move, I kind of figured I would open these up maybe and put things in just so it wasn't getting lost in the shuffle, and then we could kind of play around with it. So you can pop open the rings, I think. There you go. And then I'll just pop in these pages and I can move them around. I mean, that's one of the beauties of any system where you can change up where things go. There's some of these have a 3x4 on the top and a 3x4 on the bottom. Then this one is, let's see, what does it say that it is? 4x3 up here and 2x2, 4x3, 2x2, 2x2, 4x3. So we will add those in as well as several pages of that. Then this one is a 4x6 and then a 4x2. And I can print pictures at home in all of these sizes, which is going to make this easy and fun. This is it makes me think of Project Life with the pocket pages in combination with like a traveler's notebook. This is a 4x4 one right here. So let's get those pages in. Then I also bought 2 of the packs that are like the full sleeve. So this is a 4x8 sleeve right here. So I can cut down papers straight up to 4x8 and pop those in. And to me, that's the traveler's notebook size. That is the size I used to do for traveler's notebook pages, which I loved doing back in the day, but it was hard to protect those notebooks because they were just out. So we got these all, I think, all in store, ready to go. See, and then they just pop in there and then you put it like this. I am loving this. So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I am going to start playing. We have 2 different planner die sets. This one says Planner Essential Dies. This one has a tabbed page in it. It has these little hole covers. There's some fun pieces in here. This is actually like a sliding thing. And then this is one of the basics. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to start playing. I'm going to pull out some fun paper collections and we're going to see what we can create. Maybe a few pages. Maybe we'll add photos. Maybe we won't add photos yet. Let's just start playing and see what this format feels like. Okay, I think that I am going to get started using one of the metal dies. I haven't used metal dies in, years at this point. I have a handful of metal dies. These were stuck in here like all get out. They were crazy stuck. I have a handful of metal dies, and I have a Jane Davenport metal die or die cutting machine that works really well. And basically, with a metal die, what you do is you put the die on the paper, then you sandwich it between these two thick plastic boards, I guess you would say. You kind of make a recipe, like a sandwich recipe on what will work best. So I'm making sure the paper is pretty close to the size that I want. The plus side to this, as opposed to maybe a Cricut machine or something like that, would be that you can be very specific on where this is going to be placed on the paper. So especially when you're working with scrapbooking paper, pattern kits, you can be very specific, and it also makes it really easy to cut out things that you perhaps have colored or created on. So you put together the little sandwich, got to put the board underneath, place these two on top, and then you just kind of hand crank it through, and it cuts through the sheet, and ta-da, now I have a sheet that is perfectly sized, has the holes in just the right place. It was super cool. I forgot how fun it is to do metal dies. Let me know below. Do you have metal dies? Is this something you're into? I liked it. It was fun to play. It's great with the little scraps of paper, especially. It kind of made me want to go through all of my scrap paper and just create lots of fun little pieces that I can use in this new hobby. One little tip that I quickly remembered was the use of washi tape, using washi tape to stick down your metal dies in your paper so that they don't shift when you're putting together your little metal die sandwich. That is really important. I love this one. This one will cut out the word May. It's super tiny. And I love how delicate it is. Again, this is not something I maybe would have been able to accomplish with my Cricut. So glad to be able to do it this time. I'm pretty darn excited about this book, you guys. I could see myself, like, I was having a fun time, and honestly, I'm filming this before I have packed up my craft studio. And in fact, I'm probably procrastinating on packing up my craft studio, but I could see me taking whole collections and just making a bunch of pages that I can use in lots of different ways, and just having, like, I don't know, a whole set that you can pull from. I was falling in love with this size. I forgot how fun this smaller size can be to work with. It was bringing me back to all of my traveler's notebook days, and it's just a fun thing to do. So I'm going to use these pieces right here. I'm making a little tab to go right over the top. How cute is that? This one says May. I figured I can do a little May memory keeping, and I don't know that I'll get memory keeping done in June and July, but I do know that trying something new brought me a lot of joy in this particular moment. The collection that I am using is from 49 in Market. It is Flower Emporium. It's their collaboration with Vicky Booten. I love this collection. And again, like I said, I feel like I could have sat down with this entire collection, not trying to make specific pages, but just making a ton of elements and putting together some random journaling pages. That felt like it would have brought me so much joy in at this particular moment. My thought with this page was that it could be kind of like my May title page. I could just create a little intro here, maybe do a little journaling on the back. My goal today was to experiment with what I'm going to call these bare pages. These are pages that are not going in the protectors and the sleeves. It's just going to be open. I want the pages that are not in the sleeves to be nice and thick. A, this is thick cardstock to start with. And B, I'm going to layer lots of elements that are going to make this feel nice and thick and sturdy. I don't want to just have these be single sheets of cardstock, because I don't know that they will hold up over the long term. And when I was looking at the Elizabeth Craft Design booth when I was shopping at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, something that really drew me to her journals were that the pages were thicker. It just felt good to flip through them. You didn't feel like they were going to tear. It felt really good. The paper did. And so that was why I was thinking, you know what? I definitely want to go for that same feeling when I'm putting together my journaling pages. The paper I started with was double-sided paper, and I wanted to make sure to include elements of the opposite side on the front. So I wanted to cut out a few of these little tickets. So fun. And again, this is some little work that probably would not have been able to be accomplished. It's so tiny and delicate. That's the other plus side of the die cuts, the metal dies, is that you really can get some delicate pieces. And yes, I think your Cricut can do it. My Cricut, more times than not, though, if I'm trying to do something delicate, it's going to tear. It's not going to work out, but it works out very well with the metal dies. So I had fun. Look at these cute little tickets. They are so fun. I'm going to layer those pieces in. It was just, I have a mess. I have a mess right now as I'm doing the voiceover and looking at my craft table. This made a huge mess putting together these pages, and it could not have been a better time. It was just so much fun creating all these metal die pieces. I'm going to cut out some little hole protectors. You guys remember back in the day with the notebook paper and the hole protectors? And I remember when I discovered that hole protectors come in different colors. They weren't all just white. It was the best day. And now I'm going to cut out some little hole protectors that I can use on this particular page. And again, I'm trying to bring elements from the opposite side in because I'm working with that double-sided paper. I wanted it to work on both sides. So I need to move this card. Yes, I tore the paper a little bit. No, it doesn't matter because it's going right back down. And then I'm going to put all of these little hole protectors. We're going to add some adhesive. It would probably be good for me to have some precision glue, like some glue with a precision tip to work with some of these smaller pieces. That might be something I consider when I'm setting up my new studio and maybe including this hobby in that studio. I think that that would be really helpful, but I'm just going to use my Tombow adhesive right now as I'm playing. And again, these little hole protectors were starting to add the bulk that I was looking for, just the heavy weight of the page. I was digging. Okay, we're going to get those in place and then add just a few more elements. When you are working with smaller scale projects like this, smaller pages, like a traveler's notebook, it's all in those little detail moments. You don't have to plan some crazy layout. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is going to have one major element, which is this piece that says here and now and documented. And then it's about adding smaller little details. And I feel like that very much relates to a typical planning hobby because, yes, you can put a couple of larger stickers on your planner page, but it's when you add those small moments, those small details, that it really elevates it to the next level. That is the same case with this size, this 4x8 kind of size. All right, I had these little letters that I had cut out from the tab, and I figured, you know what? Let's use all the pieces, you guys. I actually saved those little hole punches. I need to go back and attach them to the page. I did not do it quite yet, but how fun would it be to have those little dots kind of floating on the page? See, I love this. I love it. I needed something else. I wanted to bring those ticket elements in, so we're going to nestle those behind this here and now piece. And then maybe add a little bit of floral decor because can you really use a collection called Flower Emporium and not add florals? That seems odd to me. So I'm going to look and see if I can find some different florals to include on here just to give this a little bit more of a special feel. Okay, so let's hunt out some florals. I love this really long one. That's a little bit too much though for right there. And I was trying to figure out, do I want to bring in a different color or do I want to stick with botanicals, meaning greens and such? I did want to bring in pink, you guys. I needed a little pop of pink. It's May. It's all about flowers. All right, let's add these elements on to this page. I can do my journaling about the beginning of May a little bit later. May was a crazy month. It really, really was. It's just, you guys, Maycember. It was a real thing. Plus throw in packing a house and moving. It's crazy. All right, that is good in place. Yes, one little piece right here. Loving how this, and then how cute is this little notebook? I just love the whole thing. This is making me so happy. I could have stopped doing all my videos and just done this for the rest of the day. But alas, I did not. Okay, let's do a pocket page next. Let's see how this one works. All right, I printed this photo from Mother's Day. I use an app on my iPhone called Print to Size, and it allows me to format my photos and print them. I printed this one purposely smaller than a 4x6, knowing that I wanted to put it on a piece of 4x6 paper to fit into this pocket. It has been a hot second since I have worked on anything that is divided into pockets. I did do Project Life for a year, maybe a little bit more than a year, and I enjoyed it. I like the simplification of the process of working in these little pockets. I never could decide, do I like to create individual cards for the pockets, or do I like to think of it as a larger page format that just happens to be broken up into cards? It was hard to figure out what my actual style was. In this case, I am going to imagine this as a larger format piece that is then broken up into individual cards. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's my 4x6 card. It is on the top, and that's where the photo will be. And then on the bottom, it is a 2x4 opening. So I'm going to relate the two pieces together by having ephemera that crosses between the two pieces. So right here, I love it. This is how we do it. Yep, perfect. That's our Mother's Day at church. So cute. I can't believe they're getting so big. It is crazy. Then I want a little journaling spot here on the bottom. I'll just use some of that grid paper using scraps. That's, again, the joy of working in a smaller format is you can use so many scraps, you guys. It's great. So I'm going to cut this down. And then I liked having a little element that crossed over the two pieces. So I'm going to get this little binder clip looking piece. I thought, could it go off the side? Nope. We're going to have it go on the top, but to the side so it doesn't cover there. That'll be super cute. So let's adhere everything down and then cut the two sides apart. Kind of like when I put the stickers in the margins and have them cross over the middle of a paper. That's the same idea. I do think that this is a look I like. However, I will say it would be simpler if I would just decorate a certain card a certain way, meaning that size, worry about that particular card, and then not worry about the pieces that are kind of connected. So this is what it looks like. See, there's like the separation. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Do you think I should do individual cards or individual like pockets, or do you like it when the two kind of look like one spread that's just been cut apart? All right, I am just labeling this Mother's Day 2025 at Columbia Church. And then let's look at the back. Let's go ahead and add a journaling spot. Again, I'm not going to do my journaling on camera, but I figured I can find some big pieces. There is some beautiful journaling ephemera with the Flower Emporium collection. So we're going to add this large piece a little askew with the greenery, because I told you I love that piece of greenery. It was just so big. So it was hard to incorporate on the other one. But again, I'm going to have this one. Let's get this situated. I'm going to use the greenery to connect the top and the bottom together. That's just, again, another connection point. I think I like that. I need to spend some time decorating in the other way where each little pocket is independent to see if that actually speaks to me a little bit more. All right, let's add plenty of adhesive. These are actually going in the page protector, so that's good. I don't have to be quite as crazy with the adhesive. Whenever anything is sticking out of a page protector, that's when I make sure to have it connected. That looks good. And then just cutting the two pages apart got a little dicey in there, but that's okay. It worked. It worked in the end, I promise. All right, once I cut those apart, a few more details, and then that's going to be it for the pocket pages. Let me know what you think. I know I don't need a new hobby. I know I don't need to switch memory keeping, but I love this. I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait to get my studio set up in Texas so I can play with this even more. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Do you like this format? Do you like this size? What do you think of this new idea? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Like I said before, I will link supplies that I used down in the description box below, so be sure to check those out. Huge shout out to my Patreon members. Thanks for being the amazing crew that you are. If you are looking for a creative community that is here to support you and inspire you, Patreon's the place to be. Join one of the rainbow tiers today. You can find out more at patreon.com/scrappywife. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.